So thanks everybody for coming to this talk. I will talk about Migrate in Drupal 8, in Drupal 8.1, okay? This, sorry. Okay. Last Wednesday, the 8.1 got released, and Migrate as an experimental module in core have some changes, okay? These slides have these changes, and I will talk with you with changes. There are not many changes, but there are some that could break your migration from Drupal 8.0, okay? Okay, I'm Ignacio Sánchez. I'm CTO of a little company, Hacketing, and you can talk with me in every channel of here, in Twitter, my email, in Drupal.org, in my blog, where you want. Okay, we'll follow these 4 steps. Okay, we will see which requirements we need to install Migrate, which is the anatomy of a migration, how is built the migration framework, and the last one, we will see Drupal to Drupal migration, okay? Requirements. In Drupal core, there are 3 modules for Migrate, okay? Migrate itself, Migrate Drupal is used for Drupal to Drupal migration, and Migrate Drupal UI. This is new in 8.1, okay? In 8.0, you need to install the upgrade module, or Drupal upgrade module, okay? But take care, it's in experimental, okay? It could break some things in new releases of Drupal, okay? Migrate is in core, but how can I execute that migration? The first time you see Migrate, you cannot do as in Drupal 7 any kind of migration. You haven't got any form, you haven't got any trash command, okay? How can we do any migration? Go to contrib. You need these 2 modules. Drupal 8.1, Drush 8, the last version of Drush 8, Migrate Tools, and Migrate Plus. Migrate Plus is now required for migration because they use some libraries from Migrate Plus, and Migrate Tools is required for Drush command, okay, for execute that migration. Let's check the anatomy of a migrate, okay? If you have any question, you can raise your hand and ask the question. The workflow. You have a source, you process that data, and put it, save, store, or in any destination, okay? It's simple. Let's see this in files, okay? We have definition files, YAML files. There are custom files. We need to write these YAML files from 0, okay? And we have plugins. Plugins, Drupal plugin, are PHP files. It could be custom files or core files or contrib plugins, okay? There are 3 kinds of plugins: source, process, destination, builder, and ID map. These only 5. Let's take a look at the easiest example. 3 files. The YAML file, okay? ID is the ID of my migration. Label is the description of my migration. And we have 3 keys, okay? Source, destination, and process. These only 3. Source, from where I take the data. Destination, where I put the data. And process, how can I modify these files, or fields, or anything. 1, PHP, my plugin for my migration. Look at this. This is the ID of my source is this one. Okay. Here you have the query, an SQL query, which fields I put to the YAML files, and the IDs, how I match the new and the oldest IDs. Put the configuration of the database from the legacy and execute that migration. This is from Migrate tools. Just as Drupal 7, just migrate status, they show me which migration I can execute. Okay? Migrate import my ID. This ID is this one, the ID of my migration, and execute that migration, migrate 128 items, and I can do the rollback, exact as Drupal 7. How many of you use Migrate in Drupal 7? Okay. Too easy. In Drupal 7, you have this configuration in only one file, a big file many of the times. Here you have 2 files, 3 files, and it's very clear for me. Okay, this is the easiest example. I migrate only one type of content and in Drupal 8. Let's see how this my framework works. Okay. These 2 plugins, source and process, are the most common cases. Okay. Destination plugin is if you don't want to save in an entity, you need to extend the destination plugin. You can see more plugins in core modules, migrate, SRC, plugin, migrate. ¿Vale? Source plugin. The most common cases is SQL base. It's usual to migrate from database to database. It's usual. Okay? Process plugin. Maybe you could take some files, fields, and data to another and process this data to your new database, to Drupal 8 database. So, more knowledge. There are 2 functions to modify this data. Okay? Prepare row and transform. Prepare row is in a source plugin from SQL base. Okay? It's defined in an interface, but prepare row executes all the time. When you do migrate status, executes in all the rows. If you filter this migration with ID list or limit 6, this will execute in all of your query. Okay? Transform is a process function, ¿vale? In process plugin base, and is executed during migration. If you limit this query to 7, okay, this function only executes 7 times.
Sorry. The prepare row, you can discard rows with that, like in Drupal 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. In source plugin, the most common cases is SQL base. We tell here which database is the source. In this YAML file, we have a key called source. We use a plugin, our PHP file, and key or target, which is the setting file. Okay. This is key, and this is target. If you say here key hello, you have to put here hello. Okay. Sorry if you can see, there are many code. I hope you can see. I hope. In this source plugin, you see, you will make the query. Okay, here. This select. You can add here joins, likes, and everyone. Take care of this because the migrate could be a long script. Okay, it could be very long take care of the likes, take care of the joins. Even you can index your source file or pre-process your database from 7 tables to only 1 table with another migrate or script or as you were, and make this query. Okay, this query has to be as fast as possible. Fields, I said here which fields I could put to YAML files. Get IDs is the ID who match the previous table with the newest table. And prepare row, you can get source property, add new files, set source property, modify properties, okay? And if you want to debug, you could use print, okay? In your Drush shell, you could see the print or the printer. There are ways to debug Drush commands, but this is the easiest way, okay? Destination, where to save the data. Destination, the most common cases is plugin, entity, and node, taxonomy term, configuration, comment. Okay? If you want more destination plugin, you could search destination : in core. Okay? ID mapping, how Migrate associates the old row with the new row. Easy, okay? This is a string ID, and this is my Drupal UID, okay? Process, how we can transform each field, each file, data, okay. We can map fields at the same value in previous database to the Drupal 8. We can modify and we can add new fields, files, and calculate as you want. Map fields. In process, name of Drupal 8 field and name of my column of the query, this one. Okay? It's very easy. Default value. The most common cases is type, the bundle. Okay? In the previous database, I haven't got any article node, any content type, but I could set a default value as article. Body format, plain text. Okay? User ID 1, 2, 0, as you want. Callable. Values are similar, but I need to execute a PHP function. This is the plugin. This is the field of the Drupal 8. The plugin is callable, and source created date is this field as the query. And I call here the str to time. You can add your PHP function. Okay? Maybe you could question if all these functions are available in this migrate. You could test in your index.php file. Put this function, execute, and if it's defined, here you can execute. If it's not defined, you can't execute this function.
So if I want a function, I should define it as static in some of my migrate plugins or something?
You could use your custom plugins if you want to execute a custom code. Okay? The DOP entity is for avoid duplicates. Admin 1, admin 2. Okay? Migration. This is very important. This plugin. Maybe you have to migrate users. Next, you need to migrate some terms. And after that, you migrate nodes. Nodes are created from users and tagged with some terms. Okay? This is as hierarchical migration. It's easy. Okay? this plugin is migration, which migration, tags node, and which source, terms. Wait, here are not terms. Required, tags node. Why this field terms is not here? These are fields. We add new field, okay? Here. I add here a new field and select query data, set source property, terms, my terms. This is a way of add new fields. This is the tags migration, the previous tag migration. And as you asked before, and custom plugin. I need to use my own code to migrate this field, okay? I use this example. This is not the right example, but it's very clear to understand. Plugin custom UUID and source user ID. In my previous database, I have the universal unique ID, and in Drupal 8, I need only one number, okay? The ID, the user ID. I create a field, is field user all UUID in my Drupal 8 profile user, okay? And get the source property, user ID, calculate this user ID, and execute and return the user ID, okay? This is clear? Maybe I'm very fast. Okay.
The purpose of this is that you still save the old ID.
Yes, this is not the right example. The right way is use the migration plugin. You migrate users and use the hierarchical migration to relate the old ID with the new ID. But this is
but maybe you need it because of some reason.
Yeah. Here I have another custom plugin for migration files. Files, you need a file ID, file name, and URI. Okay? I use a custom file with two fields. Okay? These two fields are here, name and path. This is the way I can send to this plugin two arguments. And this is how I get these two arguments. No, is in the next one. I have here the prepare row is executed every time for every row, okay? And here in transform is the way I got the path and the name, okay, as list. I execute public articles and return this value, okay? In this annotation, I didn't say before, is the ID which I use here, okay? So you need more core plugins. There are many core plugins, Concat, Extra, Flaton, many of them.
Sorry.
Yeah?
Question before. What is the best way you think is best for migrate files? I don't know if it's good to make a migration for only files from other Drupal or using the file migrate. I don't know if you understand.
I used to migrate files as this.
With a migration,
Yes.
specific migration, not with a only field.
Yes, this, okay? And need even more examples. Search in core, plugin, concat, plugin get, and you see many examples in core, how core execute that migration, okay? What even more? Take a look at core modules migrate src, plugin migrate, and search at migrate source. This is, if you take these slides, is for a shortcut, okay? You use this. Drupal core is full of examples. And why is full of examples? Because migrate is in core. And migrate is the purpose of migrate is migrate from Drupal 6 and Drupal 7 to a new Drupal 8. And there are many, 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 many examples of migration. And we can see here, Drupal to Drupal migration. Maybe, and sometimes it's difficult to debug. So here we have migrate Drupal and migrate Drupal UI. This is the way Drupal put to us a way to migrate some Drupal 7 or Drupal 6 to our Drupal 8. But you need Migrate Plus and Migrate Tools. Requirements: fresh install of Drupal 8, modules enable Migrate, Drupal Migrate UI, and access to the Drupal 6 or Drupal 7 database, and access to the Drupal 6 or Drupal 7 files, if you have to migrate files. Go to Drupal Upgrade, you will see this page, continue, put the access of the previous database. You could see, I can find a book, I can find core filter, I can find color. These are missing. Why these are missing? Sorry, maybe book is not enabled in Drupal 8, maybe help is not enabled in Drupal 8, maybe jQuery update is not in Drupal 8, but there are some available paths. Blog, hey, I see some blocks in Drupal 7 that I can migrate to Drupal 8. Hey, I can see some nodes that are in Drupal 7 that I can migrate in Drupal 8. Perform upgrade and magically migrates everything in your Drupal 6 or Drupal 7 to Drupal 8. Creates new fields, creates new content, adds new blog, add pages, migrate views. There are many, many, many things this core script, migrate things, but migrate everything, okay? Can I code? Sure, you can code. But Drupal provides us a Drupal SQL base. Drupal SQL base extends from SQL base as the previous migration. Drupal SQL base, query, the same as before, and we have in fields this useful function, provide Drupal 8 fields, okay? It's the same. Get database, get source property, set source property, as we saw in the previous migration. Or give a try to migrate manifest. Migrate manifest is this script. Trash migrate manifest, legacy DB URL, and your YAML file. And what is in this YAML file? Every migration you want to migrate. Not all of the migration Drupal can migrate, only the you want to migrate. Okay? If you want to migrate fields, if you want to migrate users, if you want to migrate profile fields, you can divide the whole migration to a little migration. And Drupal provides many YAML files in migration template folders in every module. And you can pick any of these YAML files, put in your manifest, and execute and migrate fields, create new fields, create blocks, many of these migration. And this is everything. I think I go too fast. I hope you have many questions or not. No, there are no microphones. No.
How about user passwords?
What?
How user passwords? Can you migrate passwords from one?
This is.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, you can. Yes.
Yeah, let's try the upgrade of
Quiet,
the
please.
Drupal process. Okay. I found that I couldn't migrate sample links. So my question is, do you know any limitation to migrate some fields or some type of field like entity reference or stuff? Because that's using the migrate templates that is implemented in the code. So not sure if because the code doesn't have that templates or it's a problem or with the new migrate API is fixed. I tried 1 month ago.
Okay. Yes. If I understand right, the question is if these scripts have limitation.
Yeah, the migrate, when you set the Abril upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I tried that way to migrate a Drupal 7 site, I found that some fields like links and entity reference were not being migrated. So, do you know any?
I use that upgrade path, but I don't recommend you to migrate the whole thing. Okay. I recommend you to use custom plugins for some things it's difficult to migrate with common migration. Okay. But you can use migrate manifest and create your definition file, YAML file, and add it your manifest. Okay. I think this is the best way.
Okay.
I was for migrate field collections because no, I think.
Okay. I think maybe field collection maintainer need to add some migration in migration templates in field collection.
But that field collection is an entity, so you can migrate first the field collection as an entity and then.
Yeah, but you need the bundle of this entity. And I don't know if you can put entity colon field collection and migrate everything. I don't know. Maybe you could add a custom plugin to if it's not provided in field collection module.
Or you can use preprocess row.
Or you can use preprocess row or transform. No question? Yeah? Okay.
Why those two config modules are so needed apart from the Rust command?
I don't know. Migrate. Yeah. Mike. The Tuesday, Mike published an article in his blog adding some information about this new migration. And the templates, you can see here. Here, migrate underscore plus. This is new in Drupal 8.1. In Drupal 8.0, you only have to put migrate.migration.article. In this new, you have to put migrate underscore plus. Why? Because they rewrite the migration core to use the derivative plugins. They have his own code to deal with this configuration, and we're trying to use the derivative plugins in core. Okay, but still in experimentation.
Okay, and another question that I had is like, have you heard about stubs that I dealt a lot with Drupal 7? I don't know if they are in core, like when an entity is referencing its stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, good.
I don't know this. Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Look easy in the Drupal 8, the migration process. I tried to do something with this, and I find like maybe if I doing something wrong. The process to create a module with this structure. Right, to use your module, you maybe need to uninstall your module, start again your module. No? You create a module for make your migration process for
Yes.
the custom database, not from
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
not you have a module and you want to test or make your module, make your migration with the Drupal code.
Yeah.
What something was wrong? You have some mistake, error. Where do you find this?
Okay. The question is, if you have any problem in your migration, you need to do the spelling in your code or in your YAML file, in your PHP file, and gives an error. Okay? This is the question. How I can find or how can I debug this error? I used to look at the log file. Maybe if you have xdebug installed, there is a lot of information about I cannot call this function. I cannot find this class. So you can see why you can see this class. It's for this. Okay? But the other way to debug this is with print or with configuring this with your PHP storm and debugging Drush with PHP storm. Okay, this is the two ways: logs, xdebug, and print or debug.
It's necessary to when you make some part of your migration, you test this is okay, and you make new tables for migration more users and more. It's necessary to uninstall your module, delete your configuration, enable again your module. This process.
The easiest way, yes, you could uninstall and re-enable this module. Okay, but with config update, you could get the new config and send it to Drush. Drush can these configuration files are cached. Okay, and if you add new files and the module is enabled, you can refresh these new files. The way is to, if you are in development environment, uninstall and re-enable this module. If not, you can use or you have to use config update. This is a command. You search in Drupal.org and copy paste and execute every time.
Does it involve some sort of rollback?
Yeah?
Can I go back?
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
In the slides.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can roll back.
Yeah, because he was making.
Yeah, you can roll back. With filters, there are some arguments in Drush migrate import or migrate rollback. Drush help migrate import Drush.
If I'm testing a migration and I start with 2 fields and then I do a rollback and
Yeah, I used to work with ID limit, and ID limit is dash ID limit equal ID1, ID2, ID3, and migrate this, rollback, migrate, import, rollback.
makes more sense.
Okay, more question? You can ask me in DrupalCamp about migrate. Okay, so thank you for coming.